Hello, and welcome back to the High Growth Equation, where we explore the formula for channel partner success. Today, I am pleased to turn the mic over for a very special discussion between Reyna Thompson, who's the President of North America, and Reza Honarmand, who's the SVP of Global Hybrid Cloud and Transformation. I hope you enjoy hearing some amazing insights on AI adoption and transformation from two very senior leaders here at TD SYNNEX. I have to say, this is an impressive interview. I'm not just saying that because Reza is my boss. So, without further ado, let's hear from Reyna and Reza. Enjoy.
Reyna, a lot of years we've spent in the industry and we've seen so many changes over the years, wave after wave of inflection points. I remember the days when we used to ship software in boxes, then we had licenses, cloud. Now we're talking about AI. What is different? What feels different about the AI era to you?
Reza, I've been in the industry for over 30 years and I've never seen anything like this where there doesn't appear to be any real experts in the field yet. Distribution, partners, OEM, we're all learning at the same pace. So to me, it's really exciting because it's anybody's game. And what I love about TD SYNNEX is we go to market with a collection of specialists, and the same thing holds true for how we're approaching AI, building and focusing and investing in that competency so that we could be a thought leader, a resource for the channel. That's our focus.
It's really interesting you say that because I've seen the whole spectrum of partners, from those who are building their solutions, packaging their offers, and those who really are just starting those steps, and a lot in between. I was so impressed by the framework you shared recently with our leadership around your agentic AI approach in the business. So that is really you using it inside your business. Could you share a bit more about your approach, please, and how you got started?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, we've never been in a situation where we're all sort of learning at the same pace. And what I found is that we could be of great use to our partners, understanding our position, understanding our strategy, developing our own framework. And so that's exactly what we've done. And our framework really has three pillars. And the first one is TD SYNNEX's Customer Zero. That means we're embracing AI throughout our operational processes to drive that higher value work. So we're paying attention to how we're transforming the work, not just focusing on a tactic at a time, how we're managing email boxes or how we're quoting, but we're approaching the entire quote to cash selling motion, transforming it for speed and accuracy, to making sure that we're addressing where there are repeatable workloads, really ultimately for less partner triage time, getting the answers to our partners faster. So that's our primary element in our framework. TD SYNNEX's Customer Zero. And then the second dimension would be, how do we deploy an agentic workforce to our partners through an agent bridge marketplace, through our tools? And the final would be obviously coworker enablement, how we're enabling and educating ourselves using these tools and understanding these tools.
So as you build your models and in terms of our capabilities, you've also been really focused on the culture and our people and how you build a workforce that is AI fluent. What do you mean by AI fluent? Could you share a bit more about your approach, please?
So AI fluency is about aligning how we work and learn and engage internally and also alongside our partners. And, again, what we learned is the coworkers are overwhelmed with the number of applications and tools that are available to them. So we've invested in a core group of experts, if you will, called our AI pioneers, who are standing alongside our coworkers and really helping them kind of curate their own education, how to leverage the tools, how to work with these agents, how to support partners in a better way. Now, the beauty of these pioneers is once we enable our own organization, our own coworkers in a better way, we're going to make them available to our partners to enable them in the same way. And it's going to be offered through our Destination AI program as we continue to expand the value of that program out to the channel.
Again, where I see the marry-up work so beautifully is where you got business process experts. They may not be the best AI fluent people today, but working along these AI fluent, let's say, new breed of coworker, they kind of build the tools together, and ultimately you're really creating a lot of automation and getting the benefits across the business, right? That is what you are producing.
Exactly.
So we have a lot of our partners out there right now that are still waiting for the hype to settle, for it to clear, and looking for those monetizable use case patterns. Which types of use cases are proving to be the most durable? Where do you see that? What's your advice for these type of partners?
Well, Reza, if we wait for the hype to settle down before we do something, it's really going to be too late. And I think when we think about hype, it's about that no one is really clear where you monetize these use cases, and it's been a lot of kicking the tires. I feel good about the work that we've been doing through Destination AI, because not only do we have an expansive line card of ISVs to really help us solution, but we've our approach in building a practice for AI really addresses all points of entry from beginner to expert, and curate the available solutions where we found best practices that partners have actually been able to monetize and that can be repeatable. So whether it's Gen AI, automation, computer vision, AI, ML ops, our role is to translate the AI potential into these scalable, monetizable outcomes, and exactly the commitments we're making across the entire value proposition.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of businesses, especially if they are information heavy businesses, they really are going to struggle to compete without having that inside, and those partners, they've got a big opportunity, and I see that. And I love the game plan that was also launched recently. I thought that was particularly strong. Reyna, a final word for leaders listening. Where should they personally invest in their own AI education this quarter?
So I read an article that had an astonishing statistic that that many leaders, majority of leaders, don't use the tools that they're asking their coworkers to use. And so I think there's such a danger in that, because it's very difficult for you to lead and to innovate and to drive coworkers, give them the right directions, drive accountability if you don't use the tools or have an understanding of these tools. And they're absolutely can't happen in the age of AI. And so I think every leader has an accountability and an ownership to develop their own education, to use the tools, to understand the tools, so that they could better understand how workload gets transformed and to understand the needs of the coworker. So I would say my largest advice, and one that I'm taking to heart, is spend the time, make space for your own education and understanding. And I think if we take a look at ourselves, we need to ask ourselves the question, are we working different? For many of us that have been in the industry for so long, for myself, over 30 years, I took a hard, long look to see, am I doing the work in the same way? Does my day start in the same way? If that doesn't change, I don't have the ability to give a different direction.
Yeah, it's really hard to lead if you're not consuming this incredible technology yourself. Reyna, thank you so much for investing time in us. It's been great having you on this interview. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.